welcome back to my channel and welcome to the second ever episode of Art and Chat. If you guys are new here, moi je m'appelle Shayna, je suis une américaine qui habite à Paris depuis 5 ans. J'ai fait des vidéos, de vlogs en français et en anglais, toujours avec des sous-titres. Donc si ça vous intéresse, n'hésitez pas à vous abonner. So if it's your first time watching Art and Chat, this is a series that I do where it's kind of self-explanatory actually. I make art and I have a discussion with you guys about whatever I feel like. And so today, while I am painting, I thought that I would talk to you guys and tell you the story about how I moved abroad when I was only 19 years old, how I moved to Paris, and how I did it by myself with very little money, and why I think you should too. So if you're thinking about making the leap and you're not sure and you kind of are looking into like a new adventure, maybe moving abroad, maybe even to France, maybe take this video as a sign. Moving abroad gives you the opportunity to separate yourself from the place that you grew up in. You're in a totally different country. Nobody knows who you are there. Nobody knows what you were like in high school. Nobody knows like that you did that embarrassing thing in like 10th grade. You're walking into a new situation where nobody knows who you are, where you came from. You could totally reinvent yourself. You'll be put into situations where you'll be able to see what you're truly capable of. You'll become independent, and those are things that even if you only want to move abroad for like a year, those are things that you're going to be able to carry with you for your whole life. Far away from like your family and friends, you'll have the opportunity to really look inside of yourself and figure out what makes you happy, you know? So yeah, if you're feeling lost, move abroad, baby. You might never come back like me. I think that there is like this common misconception that only wealthy people can travel, only wealthy people can live an exciting lifestyle, and I just want to clear that up because honestly I feel rich. Like I feel so rich when I wake up in the morning, but it's not because I have a lot of money in the bank. It's because moving to Europe has given me a much slower lifestyle and I'm able to enjoy simple pleasures. And I always say that living in Europe, living in Paris, you don't need a lot of money to feel rich, and it's because you're able to just like live a slower lifestyle basically. And I honestly want that for you guys too. So to kind of tell my story, I need to go back to when I was 19 and I had just done my first, I think it was like a year and a half into my college experience.
But first, a quick message from my French alter ego Sophie about today's video sponsor.
Oui, Jean-Françoise, je t'appelle pour te dire que je trouve ça scandaleux ce que tu as fait. Et c'est fini entre nous. Fini! Fini! Oh! I did not see you there. I'm so embarrassing. Ah, that was Jean-Françoise. It is finished between us. Well, you have seen everything. I suppose you want to hear about the sponsor for today's episode? I'm just kidding. Of course I don't have that thick French accent when I speak English because I went to Lingoda online language school. I've tested their classes, and what I really love about them is they offer language learning classes around subjects that might actually interest you. For example, French cinema or art, so you're learning the important vocabulary and getting practice talking about things that actually interest you. With everything that is going on in the world right now, I feel like summer is the perfect time to learn a new language, and Lingoda makes it easy because they have classes offered 24/7 from anywhere in the world, so it really can fit your schedule. So if you're a student like me, you might also be on a tight budget. So what's really cool about the Sprint, which is the promotion that they are running right now, is they are offering 100% cashback refund if you finish all of the classes. So they are offering two options. One is the Super Sprint, which is taking one class a day for 3 months in a row, and if you complete that, you get 100% refund. Or Or you can do the sprint, which is 15 classes a month for 3 months in a row, and if you complete that, you get a 50% refund. The next sprint starts July 1st, 2020, so if this challenge excites you and you want to get fluent fast like me, you can sign up by June 15th, 2020 by using the link down below. You have to pay a 49 euro deposit because places are limited, but if you use this code, you get 10 euros off that deposit. All of the rules and event details can be found on the Lingoda website, which of course I will be linking down below. But without further ado, let's get back into today's video. First, I think I was like a year and a half into my college experience, and I was living with roommates. I kind of was bored with my life, and I just felt like kind of lost, I guess. Like I had so many passions and ambitions, but I didn't want to like just stay where I was and stay stuck, you know? I just kind of felt stuck. So I basically at that time decided that I would take a break from school, which honestly I feel like everybody should do in their life. Like I feel like taking a gap year gives you so much perspective. Like honestly, you go to high school, you turn 18, and then you're just expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. No ma'am. So I started looking up different ways that I could spend just like maybe a year abroad or something like that, but the catch was it needed to be something that didn't require a lot of money. So I didn't know where I wanted to go. I definitely didn't think that I would come to Paris or Europe. I started looking up like how to work on cruises, or you know, but like that sounded horrible actually. Like I'm like stuck on a freaking boat, like no. No. And so I just started looking up all these opportunities, and a friend of a friend had moved to Germany as an au pair, and I talked to her a little bit about what that was like, and honestly she was like, that's the best option to see the world because you don't have to basically pay for anything. It's a cultural exchange. So I started doing my research. I signed up for this shoddy website and then I eventually found like a good website called Au Pair World, and it was really legit and it didn't cost any money. All the while, didn't tell my roommates. They were cool. I just am definitely somebody that like needs to have my own space, and living with roommates was not it. Like especially like 5 girls, all with their different personalities. Oh my god. I mean, it was fun sometimes. I remember we would have like some fun nights out and little theme parties and stuff like that, but I'm definitely like somebody that has waves of extrovertedness. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So an au pair is basically a nanny, but hold on, don't get scared. If you don't have a lot of experience with childcare, it's not bad, it's fine. I had done like some babysitting, and you can kind of set up this situation that you end up with because you make a profile, you make a description about yourself, try to make it good, try to talk about, you know, if you have cousins, try and talk about like, yeah, I like taught my little cousin to swim. Like obviously don't lie, but if there are things like that that you've done, you can talk about that. You know, talk about your interests, especially if you're artsy or if you have like a special talent, maybe music. You are a nanny for a child, and the situation can either be like live in or live out, and they pay you a monthly salary. They pay for your housing. I even had a friend, her family like took her on vacations, and they paid for her plane tickets to and from New York. So she literally spent no money. What a boss. So basically you're talking to these families, and I got a message from my host family, and they had one child. He was only 8 years old, and I was gonna have my own freaking apartment, and they were going to give me all these perks, the cell phone, everything. They had had a lot of au pairs before, and yeah, I just ended up being like a really good fit. Like the mom is like a marketing director at this fragrance company. She was so cool. She was like amazing. Like, she was so stylish and awesome. She had like a Barbie collection in her office, which I know like sounds like, okay, who cares, but I just like that she was kind of atypical, especially for like the cliche of like a French woman. Like, she loved wearing colors and she was just really, really awesome. So I decided to go with this family, and like in the space of a month I had found a new replacement for my apartment that I was in with the girls. I had my whole next year I was going to be living abroad in France. And what was funny is like I talked to my family about it and they were like, we didn't actually think you were gonna go, like up until the day you went to the airport, because it just sounded like such a shoddy plan. Like, we're just gonna go move to France, you know? And I remember I didn't want to pay much for my suitcases because, like I said, I was really broke. I ended up saving like maybe like $1,500 for the year, which was fine because I wasn't like paying for a lot, but still. I was lucky I didn't have like any emergencies or anything like that. And so when I went to the airport, I wore like 5 layers of dresses because like I said, I didn't want my bags to weigh too heavy. And I remember like my host family picking me up at the airport, and I was just like on this new adventure, and I honestly learned so much about myself in that year. I did so much because I didn't think that I was going to stay longer than a year. As y'all know, circumstances changed. I ended up staying. I met somebody while I was here. I went back to school here. I'm getting I'll have my master's at the end of next year, so very exciting. So many things happened, like, oh my god, it was crazy. I remember just like arriving and having my own apartment and going out for the first time. I only had to work like 20 hours a week, and I worked a couple hours a day. Like, I would pick them up from school. I did have to drive, which was crazy. Conduire à Paris, ce n'est pas le top. Franchement, pas du tout. Other kind of challenges was my family that I worked for was Jewish Orthodox. So there was a lot of rules around that. Like, they had two different sinks and the milk couldn't touch the meat. And so I was constantly, you know, that was like a big challenge for me. Donc moi j'ai choisi la France parce que c'est un pays qui est très très divers. Donc même si c'est un petit pays, le sud ça n'a rien à voir avec le nord, et il faut pas que vous voyagez très loin de voir autre chose. Once you're in Europe, you can literally see all these different countries for extremely cheap. Like, I took a bus to the Netherlands and all other kinds of places. I hitchhiked with Alex all around Europe. We had so much fun. We won a casino game. Like, woo! Like, that's my big. Then, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just like so many little adventures, I can't even name them all. So that is my personal journey. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about different ways that you can also come to France if you guys don't want to be a nanny. Also, if you guys want to stay for like the long term, these are also options for you guys. Another way that you can come and potentially stay long term and even get like citizenship eventually is coming on a talent visa. So I know you guys are probably hearing that and like, talent visa, that sounds very intimidating, but honestly, it's so easy to get. I actually know this girl, she's on a talent visa. She wanted to start a photography business in Paris, and she didn't have that much experience, but she like just made this portfolio of what she wanted to do here, and she submitted it and she was accepted. I know a lot of people who are here on that visa. France is a country that takes art and culture very seriously, and if you have something to offer that can make this country better, that they see as an atout, as we say in French, that will definitely help you get that talent visa. And you know, even if you want to come here and like write a book, or if you want to come here and do like a certain project, you can definitely get that visa. So that is a really interesting option, especially if you guys are talented in arts, media, and you have something to offer. Definitely look into that visa. One way that you can also come and stay for a couple years is being a teacher's assistant. So I do believe that you have to have a degree for this. So that's obviously not for everybody, but it is an option. It's pretty self-explanatory. You work as a teacher's assistant, and that is a really good option if you guys don't want to work with children, and it's also a pretty low cost option as well. Not as low cost as being a nanny because you are getting free housing. And yeah, si vivre en France c'est vraiment votre rêve, vous pouvez venir en tant qu'étudiant, parce que une fois que vous êtes étudiant, vous pouvez devenir française après 3 ans d'études supérieures. Donc comme je vous avais dit, étudier en France c'est vraiment pas cher. Ça coûte 400 € par an. Et comparé aux États-Unis, c'est ouf, c'est ridicule. There is also student housing, which is very cheap, like 200 € a month sometimes. So it just depends on what you can get and what you qualify for like financial aid and things like that. But it's a really good option, especially if you see yourself getting a job here later on and staying in France and you want to make contacts and things like that. Je voulais aussi vous dire qu'il y a beaucoup de gens qui ont peur que s'ils prennent une année de séjour, de faire autre chose, de sabbatique, que ça va aller mal pour leur CV. Mais je vais vous dire que le fait que j'ai vécu en France, ça a aidé mon CV, ça m'a aidé de crocher de boulot. Et il n'y avait jamais un moment où quelqu'un m'avait dit « Ah mais en fait, il y avait une année où vous n'étiez pas en train de travailler, etc. » So I would say if you guys are nervous about like taking a year off because of what it'll do to your CV, honestly it'll show that like you have a sense of adventure, that you're somebody that's not afraid to take risks and try new things, which don't we all love that in a person? I really feel like it was destiny for me to move abroad, and had I not taken that risk I would have never had all of these different opportunities and to meet different people. I wouldn't have met Alex, I wouldn't have, you know, decided to take my art more seriously and go back to school. So it's not even like the fact of moving abroad, it's like all the opportunities that can come your way from that small thing. So I feel like this video is going to be extremely long, but I just wanted to share a bit more of my journey, how I came to live in France for the first time when I was 19, and how you can too, and that there are options available to you. I wanted to give you more than just like what I did, because not everybody wants to necessarily be a nanny. So I hope that these 4 options, which give you the option to stay for a long time or just a year, will inspire you guys and give you something to think about. So let me know down in the comments si vous avez envie de déménager vous aussi pour vivre en France. In the next few months, I plan on doing a lot more like French culture type videos, things that I've learned while I've lived here, my experience being American abroad. So don't hesitate, like I said, to subscribe if you want to see some more videos like this. I'm going to show you guys the final product of my painting that I did. Okay guys, so I just wanted to show you really quick how the painting ended up turning out and what I ended up doing with it, because y'all know I didn't just do some basic vase, that I was gonna have to do some crazy stuff. So I ended up pairing it with this other abstract painting, and I used this silicone to put it together, and it kind of makes this very cakey-like texture that I love. So I've been loving doing that lately with my paintings. So I will be linking in the description some helpful websites if you guys are interested in any of the opportunities that I have talked about today, including Lingoda if you guys are interested in doing the sprint. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to see some updates on what I'm doing in my daily life, see more of my art, etc. And if you guys enjoy what I'm doing and you want to help me make better videos and get extra content, you can check out my Patreon page and maybe become a patron of the Purple Palace. You get extra content like podcast episodes. We do little Zoom parties and meetups in Paris. We even have like a Facebook group where we do like French practice. So if that interests you guys, please check it out. It'll be linked down below as well. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that it was useful. Let me know what kind of other art and chat episodes you would like to see. We are still kind of in confinement. I mean, we're a little bit out of it, but I have a lot more time at home as I am trying to self-quarantine as much as possible in these times. So I have a little bit more time to make videos and things like that. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful week. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about me and my story. And I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye!